to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
The other night,
Yeah.
I am getting ready for bed, and I've worn socks all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I take off my socks, right, and get ready for bed like normal, but the socks come off.
Right. Right.
And I get in bed, and I'm laying in bed just fucking around my phone like before going to bed.
Okay.
Before going to sleep. And my legs are under the fucking covers, right?
Oh, no.
And then all of a sudden, on my right ankle, I feel like a sharp something happening. What's happening? What the fuck is that? Like a sharp sort of thing. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like shuffling my feet under the covers like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like, one of those skin spasms.
I got a fucking bite. Something was in my sheets. So, and it's like, it itches like a mosquito bite. So I don't know how the fuck the mosquito ended up inside my sheets.
It was like,
you know what I mean?
Two weeks or so ago, I think it was a weekend. I haven't, my alarm, I don't have any, like, I'm not very scheduled about my alarms. Like, I have my work alarm, and it runs every day regardless.
Oh, I see. So you don't turn it off.
I don't turn it off. It just, like, on a Friday, Saturday, I just blow past it and just whatever.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was a Saturday, and this will probably tie into something I might get to later. I blow through the alarm, but in doing that, I roll over, and I kind of like stuff. Oh, there it went. I like a very light pillow. I'll put it like on my face, kind of like just I almost like to keep the extra light out, like just over my eyes, not to obstruct my face.
Because you have like floodlights in your bedroom,
right? Well, the Venus, yes, the way some of the windows, anyway. The light it's when it's sunrise, it's fucking
okay.
So
when the light comes through in the morning,
it's inquisitorious time. Like, where have you been? What do you? Anyway. So in my shuffling and to hit the alarm, I knocked the thing off my face.
Sure.
And I'm in like the 1 to 2 minutes of like, yeah, I'm gonna make it back. I'm gonna make it back to sleep. And I hear, and I open my eyes like, what? And I see
here it comes.
Like corner of my eye. No way. And I quickly grab a blanket and I just over my head.
Yeah.
Like a little goddamn kid in a nightmare. I'm like, no.
If I'm under the covers, he can't get me.
He won't get me. And then it's like, it could be that I'm old, but, am I still hearing the ringing of the mosquito, or am I... See, now, I gotta...
I'm sure I keep rubbing my hand down my leg.
I realized I'm wearing anklets again.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? Because my socks cover my ankles, so it's not like it happened before. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I took off my socks, put on my pajamas, climbed in bed, and got fucking bit under my covers. And that's really fucking like...
Yeah.
Messing with my mind a little bit. Like, wait a sec.
Who was under here?
I was under the covers.
Yeah.
Did it land like upside down on the sheet and go, oh, here's a fucking ankle I can chew on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh, cool. Opportunity.
Was it a spider?
I don't know. Yeah.
And how come my rambunctious feet moving didn't kill this bitch?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally. So there's some of that, and then also like, when you're in bed and you like kind of move your legs around and there's a grain of sand, you'll feel it.
Yes.
After the bite and after me shuffling, there was something that I could feel.
Like, where is it? Where's the carcass?
Was it I didn't look.
Yeah.
But like, Was that the carcass? Was it a spider carcass? Was
Shannon
it
bed too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it would have been weird for you to like just lift up the covers
throw
and
the lights on and been like, yeah.
Get the fuck up.
Yeah.
We got to wash all the covers.
Yeah.
Because there's an assassin in here.
I just got fucking bit.
Yeah. Something.
She wouldn't have been happy.
No.
But she's like, when she goes to bed, she like covers go up. Like she covers like most of her face a lot.
Oh.
She's one of those.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
she's one of my peoples then.
Yeah. I feel like my level is low.
Your level is low?
Does it seem like it? Like in my ears.
Why is there a red light?
What?
Your level is low?
Yeah. Does it seem like it to you?
I feel hot.
Either I'm low or you're high.
I mean, you sound fine in my ears.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't see anything. The knobs all look right, but I'm curious about the red light.
It's these two, right? Which one's the level? Is it these?
He's the gain, yeah.
Okay, they look like they're in the right place.
Right, and the buttons don't look pressed, but the red light is giving me pause. Like,
which red light?
This one right here. Is it because we're not pegging and we're at the minimum?
Yeah, we should see some meters there, I would think. Huh?
Yeah, we would. Although we're fine over here.
Huh.
Something may have gotten depressed.
Maybe. All right, well, what's getting depressed is
I did the test.
My anger over the Rovo right now.
Oh.
Because this is like 2 shows that are completely broken.
Yeah.
At a minimum. And then multiple other shows prior to this. And I tried to get it here.
It makes for quick YouTubes. Last week,
because you don't have to do any syncing of
Well,
files.
there was one of 2 ways this was going to go this week.
Yeah.
Because last week I went because I've done it in the past where based off of however much footage one or 2 of us has, if it's just blips, I let it ride. If it's like a blip with like an extended blink, I may, but then goes away. I may then throw in like the dancing banana meme thing.
Yeah,
like it's funny, haha. And then shows where it goes completely sideways. What I've done is like I've used After Effects.
Okay.
For one run. And I have a couple plugins for Final Cut that do like an audio equalizer visualizer for just our waveform.
Yeah.
And that's all the episode is. It's neither of our windows.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the footage is so...
Yeah.
So last week, we've been so far in a gap where the footage of 1 or 2 of us has been so long where I was like, I'm not going to waste my time. So I went, well, fuck, how did I do the
visualizer?
The visualizer thing. Because I don't mind that one. I think it looks cool. You can throw different colors at it, and you can either make it a circle that blinks outwards or the standard EQ up and down.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool. It's a different workflow. It's fine. I've used both tools, Final Cut and After Effects.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of compiling time. Usually I'm done, if I start Thursday evening after work, it's done late Thursday evening and things get uploaded for Friday and it's fine.
Yeah.
Last week, I fucking straight up deer in the headlights. Like, okay, what's that plugin? Do I have it? Because sometimes on the upgrades, Final Cut goes completely sideways.
Oh.
And I have to install
reinstall your plugins?
Some of my plugins. It's not comprehensive. A lot of times it's onesie twosie, and that's what makes it like irritating. And so if I don't use something on routine, then oftentimes I don't know that the plugin has died. So I went look. Oh God, it's in here. Oh, okay, there it is. And I went,
how do I do this?
I don't remember anything about this. And then YouTube, fucking audio visual, Pixel Studios. Okay. Oh, Okay. Ooh, and then I find like a rabbit hole one down a tutorial of like how to add like an RGB effect to it. I'm like, oh, absolutely. 15 minutes. Okay, I can totally, absolutely. Final Cut. Our show is an hour
ish
and change
Yeah.
ish. So I go to add this thing into the plugin, and Final Cut goes, no.
Really?
And I can hear like all the fans in the iMac go, ooh.
Oh, really?
And I went, oh, is it busy? Is it busy? And like I've got Rainbow Wheel, and I'm like, she's busy. I'll pull up the system meter, and the fucking CPU's like,
oh, yeah.
And I went, okay, maybe I broke it. So I killed Final Cut, started it again, and this time when I imported the chunk of audio,
yeah,
it told me your thing is over 10 minutes in length, which is beyond our recommendation of and I went, well, I've got an hour-long show. Of course.
In Final Cut?
Yeah.
Or related to the plugin?
The plugin itself was like, you're pressing the bounds.
You're really asking a lot here, pal.
Yeah, we just do 10-minute chunk kind of thing. Anyway. So
then you just cut it up into 10-minute chunks and then do each one?
I think I don't remember. Shit, I don't remember what I uploaded.
I feel like I should look.
Yeah. Shit. Whatever it is, it's basic. It might, I may have, because I think I ran into, well, now it's too late, and I don't remember running out of time. Like, I mean, technically there's no too late, but I like to maintain a schedule. And if I wasn't going to get it by, it takes time to upload, and then, it may just be the background and the logo and audio.
Oh.
Because I had to I need to get something uploaded because I'm running out of time.
See, what would be cool with that plugin is if the logo shape was the waveform shape. Like the logo surround.
Yes, I think, and here was the thing, like for whatever
we're
reason,
making production decisions here.
Yes, I was in like a trench, and it wasn't until Saturday where I went, well, why didn't I just pull up the After Effects project and just redump, because of the way I had done the After Effects one, it redoes it based off of the WAV file, and then I export there and put that in Final Cut and just overlay it as a video clip. I'm like, that one I know works, and it's way easier. It reprocesses
so it's okay with a large video file with audio, but not just a singular audio file. Is that what you're telling me?
The plugin for Final Cut choked on the length
of the audio file of the MP3
of just the MP3.
But if it's a video file, like a ProRes video clip that's an hour and 10 minutes or whatever, it's okay with that?
I have never run the visualizer through like our AJA, like ProRes video. Okay. I've only run the video. And the After Effects thing, I've never had a chug problem. I mean, yeah, it's going to peg it while it does it. But in hindsight, I'm like, why didn't I just pull up? Now, I probably would have deer in the headlights After Effects too. Like, where's the save file? I don't remember. Like, I try and keep everything like a system to all my save directories and what I'm doing. But I couldn't tell you where the path is for the file.
So are the plugins that you get for Final Cut, are they cross-compatible, or do you have a license for a separate download for Premiere?
Very good question. Most of they're not cross-compatible with Adobe. I thought you were going to ask about Final Cut, and not all of my plugins are, but ever since M1 stuff, I have only been, if I find a plugin that I'm interested in for Final Cut, if there isn't an M1 compatible version of it, I'm like, well, I'll figure something else out.
And you're not using an M1 machine.
Correct. But a year or 2 years down the road when my x86 version is deprecated, I don't want to have $200 worth of plugins that aren't M compatible. You know what I'm saying?
Don't they update them though?
No.
They don't?
Not all of their plugins, at least not all of the ones I have. And some are pre M1, and I have a couple from like various vendors. Pixel Film Studios is one. I think.
So you buy a snapshot of the plugin and then it never updates?
Yes. Yes. Unless it's a plugin that's so popular that they have recompiled it for M1.
What if there's a bug in it?
I presume if it's an x86 one, I presume they update an x86 one for the version of Mac OS, but I have not seen them do a plugin that was re-released with M1 and then notify me, or like not M1, but M CPU architecture. I have not seen, you bought this 3 years ago. Now there's this, and we've retrofit the plugin to work with this. I have not seen that.
Well, I don't use the plugin stuff very much, obviously. I mean, I know how they work and how. But I always thought that like you would buy a plugin and at least have some amount of time of plugin updates as Final Cut moves forward or Premiere.
I have
forward.
Updates for the plugin for my CPU architecture going forward. But if it's an x86 iMac CPU architecture plugin, I have support for that as long as it's there.
Right.
But if I buy a M architecture Mac and then say this plugin doesn't work, they'll say
buy a new one.
That one's not supported on the M architecture. Buy the M one, or here's an adjacent likeness.
I would have just thought you had a license. So all they're doing is recompiling from x86.
You would think it would
over to M1.
Not be a hard
thing. I mean, there's probably some changes specific to M1, but
yeah.
Interesting. Well, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's Sad Dad's Club Podcast episode. It's censored.
XXX.
Boop. Boop, boop, boop. I'm Lord Fu.
And I'm Jim.
Hey.
You drinking a beer?
No, it's a ginger beer.
Yeah.
Which is not very gingery.
That's a little disappointing.
Every once in a while, I get one just to see, because I like ginger. I don't know, and I don't mind like the kind of ginger beer that it's like spicy.
Yeah,
I kind of like that more than I like soda. And so far, I think the Fever Tree ginger beer, which is just the mixer, it's like intended to be a mixer.
Oh. Is
the best ginger beer. If I want...
Is that better than Bundaberg?
Funny you would mention that, because when I bought this, Venus was having like rumbly, give me a ginger thing. I bought like their little tiny, what looks like a mixer cans of Bundaberg's ginger beer. And after, someone that has, on the Fever Tree ginger beer train. And then I'd open a bottle of this. Like the Bundabergs taste more like it's very sweet, like closer to soda than a ginger beer. I still like it, but after having something that's like has more ginger and is more spicy, like the Fever Trees, it's like too much. The Bundabergs are just too sweet.
Yeah,
it's too sweet for me. Still like them, but it's closer to a soda than a ginger
What about Canada Dry ginger ale?
I haven't had one of those, or like what is the Seagrams? Seagram?
Yeah, I think so.
Seagrams makes those?
I usually, it's funny, ginger ale is the one thing I'll order when I get on a plane.
Yes.
If I'm on a plane and the lady comes by and what's your
ginger ale?
Ginger ale.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, and I'll drink it. I'll drink ginger stuff other places, but if I'm on a plane,
ginger ale.
That's the go-to.
Why is that?
I don't know.
I do that too.
I bet
ginger ale.
Maybe it's weird that in the airline industry, I bet you ginger ale, because I've read other people say the same thing.
Yeah.
I bet you they probably think everyone drinks ginger ale. But I typically only do it on a plane. I mean, I do
Traveler demographics suggest ginger ale is a top 3 soda for the United States.
Like Coke and Diet Coke and then ginger ale.
Right. But like you look at most fountains, you aren't going to find ginger ale.
No.
Right?
No.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah, because it would be typically Canada Dry or Seagram's or something. But
yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen it in a fountain situation. Even at like AM PM or 7-Eleven where they got a dozen
30.
or more. Yeah. And you go,
yeah.
I don't even know that they have it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think
What would that do to your suicide?
Yeah, it would probably make it easier on your tummy.
Well, and it's weird because it's not like I'm affected by flying. It's not like my tummy goes, "Oh, you're on a plane. Get some," it's like
right.
I just ordered. That's what I order.
Yeah. I wonder. They all come in the same size now. You know what it is? I wonder if I'm trying to recall like being like younger. And
is that hard?
Yes, I'm trying to remember if I'm like transposing like a perception or a reality. And it was that because ginger ale was asked for so uncommonly,
so seldom.
Yes, that if you asked for ginger ale, you'd get the full can. But if you asked for a Pepsi, you get the cup and like half a can, or a Coke.
Oh, you mean on a plane?
On a plane, because they would be like, "Oh, everyone's going to get Coke or Pepsi. Coke, Pepsi, Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi. Like, here's your cup of ice, and we're splitting the can because we can't have 80 cans of Pepsi.
We're getting like 3 or 4 little tiny cups out of one can.
Right. But if you ask for ginger ale, which no one asked for, you're going to get the full can.
But that's the thing. I think a lot of people do.
Yeah. Well, now I think it's... Now, you've gone the other way. Now it's like...
Oh, I see. So when you were younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Now it's like everyone's clued in. Like if you ask for the uncommon thing, you get the full can.
I think you can just ask for a can. They'll give you the can if you want it.
Really?
Yeah. Like on Southwest and stuff.
Yeah.
If you say, "Can I have a can of ginger ale?"
I want no cooties. Can you? Yeah. I need the can.
I don't want to share my cup.
Right. And once I haven't touched it yet, but it's my cup. And I don't want that going elsewhere.
Don't even give me a cup. Just give me the full can.
Yeah. And cranberry juies, like the whole carton.
And don't make anybody else's cup out of my can.
Or you all get my ocean spray.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Do you ever order alcohol on a plane? Because I never have.
I think I have once, but I couldn't tell you when.
Was it satisfying?
It may have been our
Were you underage?
No. It may have been our Cancun trip.
Okay.
So that's like
you were
circa
getting
2000.
The party started early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
but as a responsible adult, I don't think I've...
I mean, I can't...
Like, it's all...
It's like flying from Sacramento to, like, John Wayne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, I need me a 7 Seagram. You know what I mean? Like, give me the hard
Jack and Coke.
Yeah, I just can't imagine. Yeah. I have been given free...
Sir, we're going to Burbank. Yeah, 2 of them.
You better make it a triple. But, I mean, I have been given free alcoholic drink vouchers.
Yeah.
And I've never used them because I'm like... I just ordered ginger ale.
As soon as I got to get in a rental, I got to get on the 405 after we land. Give me 4 Jack and Cokes.
I mean, it's just like, it's so weird. I don't know. I don't think about that. I mean, I've been on several international multi-hour flights and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I never was like, I must have a vodka shot or beer.
I think a lot of it too has to do with my own personal, like I just don't. I don't drink a lot.
I don't
like I'm not. I do wonder sometimes how that, because in my, of course, it like as a kid in my household, there was beer all the time. Like beer was was on the grocery list. Like, get a 12-pack of Bud.
Yeah, was
like on the grocery list. My parents.
Well, that's the kind of beer that nobody wants to drink anyway.
Right.
I'm not sure a masochist.
Banquet. Yeah, that's yeah.
I mean, I would rather drink hams or what I mean, something like that.
I wouldn't say my dad had any sort of a problem. My mom would probably be debatable in the end. But it was just like that was the the leisure drink of choice was beer. I do not. If I buy beer for a holiday get-together where I am hosting, that beer will generally, whatever doesn't get consumed, will make it to the next holiday dinner. Like if I buy
You're
stuff
not a beer guy, though.
No.
Yeah.
And I have a liquor cabinet, but I don't.
So let me ask you this: have you had any beers where you're like, oh, that's actually really good? Or do they all not? Do you not care for any beer? Because I mean, I know that you don't generally like beer, so that's my question.
Yes, I don't mind a Guinness in the right situation. Like if I'm making that Irish stew,
right?
I will. The broth consumes like a can or a bottle of Guinness, and I will, if it tickles me, I will have one in that moment, but not with the stew. Well, fucking, I've got two here. I might as well drink the other one.
Yeah.
When we went abroad, we went to the UK, had a Guinness, when in Rome kind of a thing.
Oh, okay, but what I mean is like, how many other kinds of beers have you tried? Have you tried like wheat beer or like red beer, or have you had Corona, like a light beer like that? Have you tried that kind of stuff? Or, what is there? Is there a hoppy beer? Because I can't stand hoppy beer. So there's like genres of beers that are very good to me, and some that are just complete shit.
I have shades of tolerability, like nothing outside the Guinness, which I will drink. I have tried, I've Bud, Coors, I've tried all the.
Maybe you're trying all the garbage beers.
Hefeweizen, like a Blue Moon. Hefeweizens with like the orange,
yeah.
It didn't, there's no bitter beer face.
Yeah.
Or is like my scale. Like, did I have to gag this shit down?
Well, if it's a balanced beer, that's what I'm looking for.
Right.
If it's too hoppy and bitter, I don't want to drink it.
It's funny. Okay. So funny you mentioned that. The other one that I was like, I would consider drinking this was last year. We were in, fucking Angie and Mike. They have like whatever their community over there in their had like a Oktoberfest, and they had the pop-up tents with like a series,
right?
So a sour.
Oh, sours are great.
I don't. Hemley? It might have been Hemley. I don't know the flavor. I think they were actually out of Yuba City.
Okay.
But I'm not 100%. I probably would have consumed a whole. I went back and got, they're fucking just little sampler, little beer steins the size of a shot glass.
Yeah.
But that was outside the Guinness, was actually the first time I went, if I find that in a store, I would buy it. I would buy that and drink it. Not to store it,
Yeah.
But I would drink it because, well, if I can, like I do that with ciders. Venus and I will go down the liquor aisle on occasion and be like, "Is there a cider here that we haven't tried yet, or doesn't taste like a light beer?" Because I like it when it's a little bit more tart and apple.
Sure.
From a cider specifically. Yeah. I do like them a little bit more sweet than like champagne or dry, and Venus does too. So there's a real fine line for me.
Okay.
But the ciders, when we're like exploring, oh well, fucking, it's Thursday night. Whoop, I'll have a can, but it's not a routine thing.
Yeah.
That whatever that sour was the first time I like. Well, if I ever find this, I'd buy it and replace a cider on a casual night where I'm like, well, I don't have to go get a kid, and I'm not going to go do that, and I'm not going to do that, so I can have a can.
Yeah.
I would do that.
We went to Saturday. We went to the car show down in Sacramento, the one at Cal Expo.
That was a sexy bike, by the way.
Wasn't it?
I love that.
And afterwards, we ended up going downtown to Uncle Vito's Pizza. Really good pizza. They do slices.
Okay.
And we got pizza. We were with Chandler and Nicole and Shan and I, and then we met one of Chandler's friends and his fiance.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't driving. Chandler drove. Shan and I were just riding in the back seat, and I was like, fuck, I'm not driving. Normally, I'm driving.
Yeah.
So I go to a place somewhere like Uncle Vito's where it's a bar that has pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I'll just get a soda. But I was like,
well, I'm not driving.
I am not driving, and I kind of feel like a beer. Most of the time, I don't drink much. I don't drink beer very often.
Right.
I had 2 Blue Moons. I had a tall one and just like a regular pint glass.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that. Oh, man. But, man, it's delicious. Like with an orange slice.
Yeah.
Oh, I just really love that. They're very hearty. They're not bitter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few other beers. Guinness is one of those that's not real bitter. Newcastle Ale.
Mm-hmm.
Newcastle Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I love that beer because it's very balanced.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of stuff like that. But also, I really love ciders and sours. If I go somewhere they got sours on the menu, you bet your ass I'm trying it. Because
okay, is there somewhere here local where you've had a sour, or do you know of a sour by name that?
Nothing by name.
Okay.
It's just whatever they have. And there's sometimes the Doghouse will have sours.
Okay.
And then the Mosca place that's over there
Mosca.
at the corner of Blue Oaks and Foothills behind the Mobile. There's a place called Mosca Brew House or something like that. And sometimes they have sours.
Really?
I love sours. I'll drink those all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
How about in a market?
If you're looking for sours,
Probably
typically go to
Bevmo
Total Wine or something.
Total Wine.
Yeah,
okay.
Total Wine would have your best option. But I haven't really bought sours and taken them home and had them at home. It's usually if they have it on tap, I'll try it.
I'm totally drawing a blank. I think it's a Hemley. Or it might have been a Hemley cider, and so now I'm fucking up.
Hey, it doesn't matter.
Damn.
I couldn't tell you what the names of any of them.
Hemley was the cider. It was, and they had good. We had ciders when we were there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those. I think they're out of Yuba City.
Yeah.
They were really good, like a pear, something. It was like right on that line. Like, God, man, it tastes really good. But
yeah, apple ciders, pear ciders. I'll try all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't really drink that. I go to my neighbors across the street and talk to him, and he'll be like chilling. You want a beer? And I'm like, no, I'm cool. You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's right. You don't drink. And I'm like,
no,
I do.
You don't understand. I'm a an alcoholic. I'm just not right now.
I do drink. I just don't. It's not like I don't have to have something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
go to the like Doghouse or the Mosca place. We go there for dinner on occasion. And most of the time I'll just get a soda. I don't need to have a beer.
Yeah.
So
a lot of times I think it's just been Like, because I'm still in dad mode.
Yes, there's that too.
Like,
even though everyone's left the house, if I'm driving, I'm not going to partake.
Drinking. Yeah. We're driving.
So,
I'm driving.
Yeah.
And I like driving. So then I'm not doing that because,
Yeah.
So I'm sure that may change over time.
Yeah.
But in like this moment, I like trying to shoot a gap where I can have something and then be like, oh, I gotta go pick up a kid, or I've got to go got to do a dump run, so or whatever.
I know plenty of people that that's not the consideration. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
over the years of how like growing kids, I know plenty of people who have just had beer and then, oh shit, I got to go do the thing.
Right.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I just watched you do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And now you're just going to go pick up your kid or whatever?
Yeah. It's just on the road.
And I'm like, that's just not how I roll.
Because, last week we were talking about Charlie and his small bikes. And when he was pointing out mine, he's like, we don't have a cup holder. I'm like, why would I have it here? That's where you put your beer. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like before DUIs and like the 80s when that was seat belts weren't quite a thing, like legalized. And it was like, bikers like, what's in the cup holder? Bud?
Yeah.
What else would it be?
Well, whenever I'd be driving in the car with Steve Tonti.
Yeah.
We would be driving, maybe playing Ingress or whatever the fuck we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
He would see a cop and he instinctively every single time would be like, "There's a cop, put down your beer." And we weren't holding beers,
right?
But it's like that's the theme, right? Yeah. And so now I do it with Shanna all the time. Yeah. I'm like, "There's a cop, put down your beer." And
put down your beer.
We don't have beer, but it's just funny to say that.
Yeah.
But I just would never even consider driving. After I've had a beer, even.
Yeah, none.
Yeah,
no.
And maybe if I knew it was like a couple hours off or something. If
I'd seen like whatever law that we were just put into place like recently that was like usually when there's like some sort of driving law that starts coming in, you get like these resurgences of like the change is always a struggle, and like you get these small news clips of people being interviewed with like the long boom mics from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, where they're like,
the seatbelt was one of those big
what do you
ones.
think about having to wear a seatbelt? And there was, mic in the face of some construction worker, blue collar guy, when you could no longer have an open container in your car, and he's like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. I crack one, and that's how I unwind out of my way home. And you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Shit.
That's weird.
I know.
That's really weird to me.
In this day and time, you're like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, you can find those on YouTube if you guys have never heard of this.
People being oppressed by no longer being open containers and seat belts and helmets on your motorcycle. Fucking
seatbelts was another big one. Well, coming on Monday, you're gonna have to wear a seatbelt. Why? I don't know. It wrinkles my clothes and and you're like, what the fuck?
I heard. And airbags. Like, I don't want. Like, what? How do I know it's gonna go off? You're
right.
Like, what if it breaks my face? And you're like, oh, shit.
It would be an improvement.
Yeah. Well, you're ugly.
Well, you're probably drunk, so
yeah.
You wouldn't even feel it.
Yeah. You're not going to know. No one likes your nose anyway.
Yeah. Those are very interesting, like, the government can't tell me what to do kind of stuff,
Yeah.
It's just, hello. It's just common. It seems common sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think back to the car that I grew up in was my mom's 73 Plymouth Fury Grand Coupe, which was a like 35-foot long 2-door. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it had they used it to tow boats and a camping trailer, so it literally had air shocks in the back, and it rode high in the rear, unless they adjusted the shocks because they would let the air out or pump it up if they were going to put a trailer on it. And it had mag wheels, and it had seat belts in it because there was a point before 70, like around 73, that like some cars didn't even have seat belts in them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it was like an option or some shit. I don't even know.
Yeah, the Datsun 510 that we had the seats in the front had laps, but the couch or the bench in the back had nothing.
Yeah. So in this particular car, it had lap belts. And it had shoulder belts for the front two people. But goddamn, if you touched that shoulder belt, you were going to get in trouble because it was hard as fuck to get it put back up because they were hung up on the ceiling. And if you pulled them down, it was really hard to get them put back. So the shoulder belts never got used. They were just up there. And then that's and they're
decoration. Yeah.
And you had to literally, if you wanted to use the shoulder belt, you had to take it off the ceiling and clip it onto the lap belt. Yeah. It had like a little latch knob on it, and you would click it on there, and then you had a shoulder belt, and then it was manually adjusted for your seating position. But don't ever touch those fucking things because it will take mom a half an hour to put them back up right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you would get yelled at.
Listen, your little liberal woke ass is just gonna snap at the hip.
Yeah. Well,
you don't need that chest belt bullshit.
This is the same car that we got in an accident in, and my little brother, I remember clear to this day, sailed from standing on the hump in the back seat because no seat belts back there were needed, and flew through the car and hit his head on the ashtray and ended up on the floor next to the accelerator.
Nice.
From the back seat.
We called him Missile from now on.
Literally. I mean, if we were going faster and shit like that, he would have gone through the windshield. You know what I mean? And then you kind of like realize, oh, that's what's wrong with that kid.
That's why he's broke. Because the ashtray.
That's why he's borderline special needs.
He's like Marlboro.
Yeah. So that stuff's just nuts. But I can't imagine me personally like pounding a beer because I'll feel it like immediately.
Yeah.
And I know if I'm feeling it, it's going to impair me in some way. And I just can't imagine just, all right, let's go. Pound the beer, let's go.
Yeah, no.
So
it doesn't
jive with how I operate. So, yeah.
Plains? Was that how we got here?
Plains.
Sours.
Ginger ale.
Ginger ale and sours.
Yeah. So, do anything good this weekend?
Maybe.
This is a test. You might fail it at this point.
I did my RealID.
Oh, you did? I've been meaning to do that.
So, that's not fair. Hashtag I love my wife. My wife, because my license expires in December.
Yeah.
So I got the notice, but it also came with like now I'm already super jaded about DMV
right.
productivity. But it came with like you could do the RealID as someone with the passport card. We already
you weren't too concerned about it.
Right. Plus we already have all of our documentation. So Venus is like, well,
from passport gettings.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So we'll just do this. So she had gathered up all of the stuff needed, pre-submitted the online copies of the documentation, and then made me an appointment of which she escorted me to.
You're going, motherfucker.
Right, because she's also my documentarian
/ mom.
Right. So we went in.
Yeah.
I have an appointment. Oh, can I see you've submitted the online? Yes, absolutely. Two forms of residence. Yep. Here, right here. Here's my document. My wife's like, and here's his stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's all. My wife has done all the things.
So you didn't have a lot to do. You just showed up.
I just showed up.
Yeah.
So The lady number, here you go, sit down. We're sitting for maybe 2 minutes. Number comes up. Lady behind the counter calls me up. She's jawing with her coworker for like the length of time we were sitting. Like, why are you not just taking people? Like, what's going on here?
That's her 10-minute break.
Yeah, this is why you guys get bad rap, because you two are sitting there
jaw-jacking about
instead
who knows
of
what.
process. Like, there's other people in here. Like, process the people, then jaw. Anyway, she calls me up. Very nice lady. She's like, okay, so you have this? Yes. And, okay, so you did the online doc? Okay, yes. Okay, 40, whatever the fee was, card, done, bink. She's like, okay, now go over to the, take the picture. Sweet. Like the whole process. She's typing more shit than actually engaging with me because the documents are all there.
Sure.
Fantastic. Seamless process so far. So I
get over. Until you're waiting for the shit to come to the house.
I go over to the line there's no line to take my picture, thumbprint, take my picture, and the lady then says, okay, now line.
Now turn to the side.
Yeah. Line 21. And I'm like, okay. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So she gives me like a signed receipt, whatever, and then we go stand in. Oh, don't do it.
It just did.
Did it?
Yeah.
Wow, that was the fastest of blinks too.
Yeah, I saw it.
Go and stand in line, and in that line, there's probably 5-6 people.
Dr. Jellyfinger.
Yeah. Bend over. The 5-6 people, but it's also the kiosk that's right next to the corral for taking driver's tests.
And so you're getting nervous.
And so I'm like...
Wait, do you have to do a vision test, though?
I did. And she asked me, that was the first lady. She's like, do you wear your glasses? I'm like, yep, I wear my glasses. She's like, okay, so do the... Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I wear my glasses. I don't care.
Okay.
So, yes, my new picture will have me in my glasses. So we're in this line, and everyone ahead of me is getting a sheet of paper and then walking into the testing zone corral.
Okay.
And I'm like, we're like three to the thing, and I'm looking at Venus. I'm like, I mean, it's a driver's license renewal. Am I going to have to take a test?
I mean, at this point, I'm thinking maybe they're just going to have border agents beat you up or something.
I'm like, I didn't
know there was going to be a test.
Yeah, is there going to be a test?
You're nervous.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know. I don't think so. And I went, fuck, I don't want to take a test.
What if I don't pass the test?
What if I pass the test? Like I didn't even study.
Yeah.
So we get up to the lady, and I hand her like my thing, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm here. And she's like, to get your driver's license. And I went, do I have to take a test? And she went, no, it just says right here on the thing, renewal. She's like, you're here, so I can give you your license. And I went,
oh, so they give it to you right then?
No, she reprinted the paper license that you had that was the replacement.
Oh, okay.
So, of which I'm not, it's stored away because my license is good till
okay.
December.
You'll get the new one before that even expires.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Fucking whatever.
Well, I got a story, so there's even more question marks.
A week and a half ago, I actually got the completed case for the motorcycle license, and I went, well, fucking thanks.
Great timing.
You're about 3 weeks late.
Yeah.
It's already been... Anyway, the whole thing was pretty fun. But pretty seamless. Yeah. I got lucky. My wife totally just carried me over that finish line.
So we get a call from Chandler the other night. Pause Netflix. Chandler's griping because the Tiguan Nicole forgot to pay the registration on.
Uh-oh.
And she was like month and a half-ish. And he was griping because it was like $150 extra.
Like a penalty fee?
Yeah.
Okay.
For a month and a half. And I went, oh,
wow.
Shit.
Uh-oh, Cadillac.
My registration for the Cadillac was due on the 2nd of October.
Uh-oh.
And here it was like I don't know, the 17th or something like that. And so I leap up off the couch and I go grab the paperwork and go, fuck.
Wow.
I don't even have the fucking car here.
Yeah.
To remind me that I need to pay the registration on the fucking car that I don't even have.
Yes.
And here it's late.
So yours was late too?
Yeah. It was 2 weeks late. It cost me an extra $44.
Why was the Tiguan so expensive?
Because it was a month and a half late. I guess it's like some sort of sliding scale based on how late you are.
Okay.
So yeah, there was added extra $44 on my registration.
How did he figure out that it hadn't been?
They have problems still with the AC on it.
Yeah.
And they've had it into the dealer 3 times and the dealer hasn't been able to recreate or fix it.
Right.
And I'm like, well, that's lemon law shit. Like, I think if you have a car in 3 times for the same problem and they don't resolve it,
right,
like, you're looking at a possible buyback.
Mm-hmm.
So they're talking to Volkswagen America about a buyback for the car.
Mm-hmm.
And they were asking for paperwork. And part of it was registration. And she was like, oh shit, it never got paid. And then he called to gripe about how luckily he called the, normally I get irritated when he calls to gripe about shit like that. But he had called to gripe about it. And I went, oh, fuck. I know mine was in the beginning.
Thanks for the reminder, son.
Yeah.
Also, whatever.
I like fucking hopped right online and fucking paid it like right then. Oh shit!
Did you get your tags?
Not. That's what I'm saying. we'll see, but it doesn't matter because I don't have the car still.
You'd be like, if you guys want to go out and take it for a test drive, I don't have the tags.
Well, I mean, it's October, or it's now November, so in theory they're expired. Even though it's paid and everything, I'm just waiting for the tags to come in the mail. But
you would have a printout? Do you have a printout? Like if they said we can't take it for a test drive without, you could.
I don't. They probably don't even pay attention to it. To be honest with you, they don't look.
I mean, if the owner doesn't, then.
It's really hard to pay attention when the car's not even there.
Right.
And it's funny because I thought I committed to memory when the registration was due, but that also sort of like if the car was there, I would have remembered. But seeing how it's like out of sight, out of mind, right? Mm-hmm. So now because the car is out of sight, out of mind, I forgot about the registration. So
yeah,
it's not the first time it's been late. I forgot to pay it last year too. I think I was like a day or 2 late. So, but we'll see how long it takes for the tags to show up.
Do you guys do? Do you guys leave your light? Do Halloween candy? Do you pass out candy?
Normally, yes. Last year we did not, but this year we did.
Did you?
Yeah.
So how does Max do with the door open?
He's fine. He couple times he ran to the door, and then would come kind of like slinking back, like he was nervous.
Mm-hmm.
So I think once he realized, oh, there's a bunch of kids outside. Mm-hmm. I don't want because he's really kind of like uncomfortable around little kids.
Okay.
And so when he realizes there's little kids outside, he just like is like, oh, I'm coming back.
Never mind.
Yeah, and he doesn't bark or anything. So
yeah. When you're a kid, I see you. When the kids, your kids were smaller.
Yeah.
And would you go trick or treating with them? Okay.
Sure.
So you would not be unfamiliar with some households, like, please take one.
Yeah.
Like they just leave a bowl of candy out.
Yeah.
I have surmised an addendum to the shopping cart morality compass.
Oh yeah.
And that is please take one Halloween candy bowl.
Yeah.
There's no one watching.
Right.
There's no penalty.
Right.
No one's going to tell you no. It is on your honor that you do the right thing.
It's there to be taken.
Right. It's there.
Yeah.
There's nothing to stop you.
The person that put it out there
is
intended for somebody to take it. Or people.
Right.
Multiple people.
Under the honor that you are only taking one or a portion for you because others may come behind you and take their share.
Sure.
Xander went out trick-or-treating, and he ran across a couple other kids from high school who, ahead of him at a house where it was, please take one, or just take a couple, asshats proceeded to just consume the bowl. And yes, Xander is a teenager and doesn't necessarily need candy, but he was out trick-or-treating with his friends, dressed up, so he's not going out to get candy. But Xander saw... he's like, when I picked him up, he's like, I got pissed and yelled at a couple other kids, high school kids, because they were taking all the candy. And I went, oh, shit. Okay, really? And he's like, and I said, did something happen? Like, was there a... He's like, no, but, we exchanged words. And I went, okay. Like, how'd that play out? And he's like, me and my... It's a good thing. Yeah. He's like, me and a couple of friends who were behind them as they skittered across the lawn, then took handfuls from our bags and put stuff back in the bowl because there were little kids behind them coming to the door.
That's so nice.
And I'm like, well, goddamn, son.
That is the exact opposite of
fucking A.
Yeah, wow. That's impressive.
I ended up seeing, like, on YouTube Shorts, I got, how are they feeding me that? It was, I think it was someone with, like, a ring doorbell, like a shot of them with the pedestal with a big-ass bowl walk-sized bowl full of candy, and this family of douchebags. Family. Mom, dad, not toddler-sized kids, but double-digit age, easy. Just every single person in a family of 4 is handfulling their bags of this bowl of candy. Dude, like, it is the same short fuse for me as seeing someone fill their car with groceries and then popping the cart up. Like, come on, what are you doing? Especially... Even more so for me, it's like there are kids out here.
Yeah.
Trick-or-treating. Yes, the whole holiday is selling shit, and I get it, and candy should be, and candy is bad, and diabetes, whatever. But the dad in me, I was both simultaneously pissed off and frustrated. Simultaneously pissed off and frustrated that this still happens, and also warmed heart that my son realized that there were, and his friends were there too, and everybody chipped in. I mean, they didn't empty their bags,
right?
So they're not totally honest, but that was funny, huh? But they did the right thing by making sure the kids who were probably having a true experience of trick-or-treating still enjoying the atmosphere of going door to door in your costume and trick-or-treating.
I think part of the problem is the assholes that leave the bowl outside. I mean, just don't do that shit.
Okay.
Don't give people the opportunity to do exactly what pisses everybody off.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
because you can't trust people?
Yeah. 3-4 kids are just going to come by and wipe it all out, and all the candy's going to be gone. What the fuck? You're just rewarding a couple of dumbass motherfuckers by just being lazy or not giving a shit. That's not... I mean, you have the best intentions. I understand that. But at the same time, like, just let them fucking ring the doorbell and answer the fucking door. It's a process. That's the reason why it's a process.
Who's beeping? It must be me.
They actually talk about that in the that Hubie Halloween movie. That's an Adam Sandler movie that came out last year. it's anyway. There's a little bit in there about the bowl of candy. You take one.
Really?
Yeah, I just it's just don't give them an opportunity. It's like leaving jewels out. And
right,
then like the jewelry store getting mad going, we put all the jewelry was in a bowl on the counter. They were all for sale and someone stole it. Well, fuck.
Yeah.
It's a similar thing. You're just lending that. You're just sort of giving that to them, But people are just going to take
you
advantage.
Also
no
have to
what.
know that people are being asshats, though, right? If you're under the impression,
I'm sorry, but if you're under the impression that you can put a bowl out and then people are going to come by and just take one piece of candy, then you're are confused. Living in a world that does not exist. You know what I'm saying?
There's got to be a twist. Like, what if you just? There's got to be a nerd twist that you could do to like help, like live stream it, and then put like a little thing that says, "Please take one." You're also on camera and being streamed to YouTube with like a little QR code of like the stream. And like if you take more than one, everyone's going to see and everyone's going to know who you are.
Well, that's the thing. It's Halloween. So people are masked and dressed up and you don't look anything like who you are. And so it's sort of like wearing masks over COVID when people were breaking into shops and doing all this shit. It's like, you have a mask on, so there's a little bit of anonymity there. So people are gonna just take advantage no matter what. And that's fucked. But also some people give those people the opportunity to do that shit.
Yeah.
And if you take that away by making them ring the fucking door, then you manage how much they get.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I was I don't really like answering the door. On Halloween. Shanna really loves seeing the kids, and her reactions to the kids are way better than mine. She appreciates it way more than I do. So I let her do it because I don't know. It's just not
great. Mall.
Cool.
Cute.
But whenever I answer the door, I'm like, here's 3 or 4 pieces. Here's 3, you know what I mean? Like everyone gets a decent amount from me.
Yeah.
I'm not like, here's a little bite size, There you go.
Here's a Tootsie Roll. One for you.
Yeah.
Here's a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
One for you. Oh, I only have Tootsie Pops left. Here's one Tootsie Pop for you.
And my concern is always like, I don't want this candy in the house, so I want to make sure I'm giving it away. That's what it's for.
Are you the last person? Is there anyone behind you? No. Here's the rest of the bowl.
Some more, yeah.
You win.
So there's, like I would rather manage what the kids get. And then you quell the parents who are shitty and the kids who are shitty. By just going, take one. That's never going to hold up.
Never.
No. Yeah. That's the same thing. You're saying exactly the same thing. That's the same thing as there's a fucking cart return. There's the same people that won't push their cart 10 feet away in the cart return. It's just, they're just shitty people.
Shitty. Yeah. Yes. Super angry.
Your son is awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Good on him and his friends for thinking of other kids and especially the littles, because they're the ones that are getting screwed over.
Yeah.
Well,
there's nothing here. I'm sure everyone in the way, you daddy candy bucks over here handing out 3 candy bars at a house. Like, I'm sure they all have enough candy.
Yeah.
Right. But it's the experience of like going door to door and like, I don't like that either. I'm waiting for I can't, answering the door here with Jax is like a no-go.
Yeah.
Like it's just not going to happen.
Oh, are you doing the candy bowl?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we did.
Fuck you, man.
No, my light was off. No one's coming here. Yeah. When I am not a dog house.
Oh, yeah.
Like I want to be one of the houses that like has the like the garage is open and I'll decorate in here with like smoke machine or something, or we'll all be sitting out here in the driveway with the fire pit and be like, come and get it, and someone comes in, or open up the backyard and have like a walking U with like a Star Wars thing set up.
Yeah.
Grogu doll on like a track running in the background or something. Like, I have big ideas, but it doesn't work with a dog who's not very good socially.
When I was a kid growing up in Orange County, one of the models of the neighborhood that we lived in was a 2-story house that had a really good size and lengthy like front porch.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really tall, and there were pillars down one side all the way up to the door. So it was a really wide swath of area from like the driveway to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our neighbors would take advantage of that every year, and they would build a miniature haunted house between like the drive where you would come in off the driveway all the way to the door. And I always really thought that was the coolest shit, even though as a kid, because I was pretty young then, that it was scary, right?
Yeah.
But it was always super cool. You knew that house was going to do some cool shit every year. And I always thought that's what I would like to be able to do.
Is that? It's not Bulljon. What's the elementary school that's right over by you?
Brown.
Yes.
Yeah. Vincel Brown.
Vincel Brown?
Yeah.
Like when our kids, we've probably talked about this at length, but we've been doing this for years. So here's the story again. When our kids were toddlers, our family friends lived over by you by Vincel Brown.
Right.
And when they were single digits, or probably all the way up till 10 or so, even 12 with Piper, we would go over there, and a number of the houses were doing, like, the garages were open, and there was, like, the one house had, like, the booze and a popcorn machine for the adults who were just trying to get by. Guys making, like, the super strong fucking rum and cokes, for the adults. And so the adults are walking around, and it was that type of neighbor community thing made trick-or-treating as a young dad like, this is what you want your kids to be experienced, and everyone's participating. It was just super fun. I would love to have that atmosphere here, but I'm, pet dad kind of precludes me from being fully invested in that, because Jax would just not do well with complete random strangers and masks and shit.
Okay, so I just sent you a picture.
Okay.
We carved pumpkins, and the whole reason why we even carve pumpkins is because we really like making pumpkin seeds, like roasted pumpkin seeds. So that's the big motivator behind us even carving pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, we didn't even have any pumpkins at all. Shanna had to go yesterday in between,
get the shits on
and
sale,
find a couple of pumpkins somewhere. So I want you to take a look at these two pumpkins.
Okay.
Shanna's on the left and mine's on the right. Can you tell me what mine is?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I got nothing.
It's the poo emoji.
Okay. I can see the top. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like the two eyes in the middle and the mouth across and the bottom part of it.
Okay.
See that?
Yes.
But Shan's is really cool. Look at hers.
She has a pumpkin in a house pumpkin.
Yeah. So
with the mini pumpkin.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
with a doorstep and everything.
Yeah, I had no idea what she was making. And when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, that's really, I don't know where she found this idea, but holy shit, that's really clever.
Yes.
So anyway,
that's a good one.
I just thought it was cool. So we ended up carving pumpkins
for the seed
yesterday.
Yeah.
Just to get seeds so we could roast pumpkin seeds.
Smoke them.
Well, I bake them in the oven. It's like a thing that we've done for years.
Nice.
I should have brought some over for you to try.
You probably should have, asshole.
Go get some pumpkins and I'll roast a whole bunch for you. It's actually super easy. super
Yeah.
easy. But they're delicious.
Brine them, soak them, roast them.
I
My
don't
dad
even
would
brine
do
them.
it. I never really got into the. It's probably because I don't.
Just scoop the seeds out. This is how I do it. Scoop the seeds out, put them in the colander, rinse all the orange pumpkin shit off. Get all that stuff out.
Yes.
Rinse them out real good. Shake as much water off as you can. You want them wet. Put them on the baking sheet so that they're single layer.
Mm-hmm.
And I used sea salt, just crack sea salt all over the top of them, and then bake them at 350 for 15, 20 minutes until they start to get kind of golden brown, and you hear them like popping in the oven. And all that salt because they're wet, the salt just sticks to the wet, and then it dries and sort of melts on top of the pumpkin seeds. So you get this like sort of flaky sea salt on top. It's very good.
This is an interesting thing because my dad's recipe, I don't do it, but when I was a kid, we would do this exact thing.
Yeah.
He would clean, sort the seeds, get all the schmitz off.
Yeah.
And then soak them in salt overnight. And then
so the salt would be incorporated into the seed itself.
And then when ready to roast, same thing. Cookie sheet pan, they're, patted dry, like they're drained.
Okay.
And then tossed onto the cookie sheet, and seasoned salt was his
so
thing.
He's sort of double salting.
Yeah, so they were brined. There's some in it, and then sea salt, and then roasted them.
So I'm kind of curious if that makes them more moist inside. I wonder.
I have no idea.
I don't either.
Are you bringing water onto the inside of the?
Does it make it through the shell and to the seed? Because I eat the whole thing.
Yes.
Right. But I just kind of wonder if it makes it more moist inside.
I don't know.
But I roast them until they're starting. They're going brown. They're starting to go brown. Not real brown. You don't want them to get dark or anything like that. But I roast them until they get nice kind of golden color, and then out of the oven into a bowl.
Yeah, I feel like eating. Like I have a trigger. Like when I think pumpkin seeds, I taste seasoned salt. Like like a seasoned salt, pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds.
Oh, he uses seasoned salt.
Yeah, seasoned salt. Okay. So like the Lawry's red top thing.
Okay.
Like I can taste it by visualizing it. That's like a attachment. Like I don't really use seasoned salt.
So how long would he brine for? Do you know?
It's just overnight.
Okay.
Like we would come back in from trick or treating, and while we're sorting candies, he's pulling the pumpkins off the fucking porch and being like, because we're also like a sunflower seed house. So he's like, fucking free pumpkin seed.
Yeah.
No, I don't have to buy a bag of David. So he'd destroy and then throw the pumpkin out to the goats, keep the seeds, put them in a bowl.
Yeah.
Salt. Toss it in the fridge, and the rest of us will be like, why is there a fucking bowl in the fridge? Shut up, Hawker.
Don't touch it.
You'll eat them tomorrow, and you'll be happy. Sunflower seeds? That's a pumpkin seed, you dumbass. Seasoned salt? Yeah.
Yeah, so I've done that for years, and the kids love it. In fact, Melanie bought a pumpkin. We went to a pumpkin patch when we were up there moving her.
Yeah.
We took a time out one morning and went to a pumpkin patch. And I think she carved that pumpkin because she called me and was like, how do I do the pumpkin seeds? So she's making pumpkin seeds at her house.
There you go. Yeah.
And Chandler always liked them. And then Shannon was like, we got to have pumpkin seeds. So she actually went to quite a few places before she even found pumpkins.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus, there was like 4 boxes, pallets of pumpkins outside RealID.
She went to I don't know, Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's.
Wow.
And she ended up finding pumpkins at Nugget.
Super premium pumpkins.
Yeah. But this is something we just really enjoy doing, so we do it.
We're at time.
All right.
Fucking A.
Fucking A. Well, don't forget to roast your pumpkin seeds.
Return the cart.
Wash your hands.
Only take one candy bar.
Wash your ass.
Stay up to date on your shots.
Make the call if you need it.
Pick up a broom.
Check your oil, Tony.
Register to vote.
Do the kindness.
And we'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.